Hi, this is Mike with Thrive, and welcome to January's SEO Performance Report. Just as we have done in prior months, we evaluate several key performance indicators. And Carly, we do that so that we keep track of our ongoing campaign performance, and we keep tabs on the overall condition, disposition, and health of the website. So jumping right in, our first key metric that we look at is our top 5 keywords. Quick refresher, our top 5 keywords are keywords and queries that are rendering positions 1 through 5, and that's on the first page of the Google search results. So looking at our data for January, we actually had a decent increase in our top 5 positioning from 22 keywords back in December to 26. So continuing that upward slow progression into more exposure into our top 5 keyword positioning and presence. So that's great to see. We definitely want to see more of that, but again, great to maintain our gains. Well over 20 keywords in our top 5 positions. Of course, you have more than 20 keywords. This is just the very top portions, the very top keywords the keywords that are rendering at the very top of page 1 results. Okay. So with that said, let's take a little deeper dive into those keywords. We can look at some of the search volume and some of the types of indexes that they are appearing in our next screen. Okay, so I loaded our keywords here. As you can see, the actual keyword to the left, our traced visibility scores above, and our keywords, we look at them in 2 sections. So again, the keywords are here. Our search engine result types are here. The current position that it's rendering in, followed by the change in a 30-day frame. The amount of competition is measured from the amount of ad space that's occupied given the query. The average monthly volume in search, and then the last column is our cost per click. We use cost per click on an SEO basis just to determine relevancy and see what some of the competition is willing to bid on certain terms. So that, again, helps us establish relevancy and kind of a important of what your competitors are looking to really focus on. So with that said, we break them down into 2 areas, one being our branded keywords. Our branded keywords would have Earthlok and all variations, location, and our service. We lump all those together into our branded presence. It's important to rank well for your branded themes, for your keyword themes, due to the fact that these are individuals that are researching your brand. They could be word of mouth, or they could be returning visitors. So with that said, it's important to rank well as high as you can in all those scenarios. Looking at our branded positioning, you can see that we have maintained our top positions. That has been the story for for many months that we've been doing this. So no update there, except the fact that you'll see quite a few of these little compasses appearing in this report. And what that is that it's been picked up in the knowledge panel of Google. So that's great. And we also see some of our featured results here. That's based on related questions. Given that it's very niche what you guys do, that's a really important feature. Most people will be typing in form of a question when they have a problem, such as expanding clay, sinkholes, sinking land, that type of stuff is usually the intent that we see is usually behind a question. So as you can see with this query here, the importance of soil stabilization in engineering. So it's sort of a statement, but it kind of underlines the question, like, how important is soil stabilization in engineering, right? So it could be interpreted that way. But nevertheless, we want to rank for those terms. Not a tremendous amount of traffic, but the traffic that we do get is extremely relevant and has a really high propensity to convert. So looking good on our branded side. The second form of keywords that we look at is non-branded. So this would not contain Earthlok, and it would have more product focus. soil stabilization, chemical injection, and it would not have the Earthlok brand name within that search query. And looking at some of our notable changes here, ground lock foundation at 7 positions to number 1 and being picked up in the knowledge graph, so that's outstanding. Soil injection for foundation moving up 2 positions to number 1, and then another movement into the number 1 position, soil chemical injection stabilization. I think those are all really relevant. I'll be specifically watching those keywords, how the users interact with the content, and of course how they convert. Everything else was pretty stable here, as you can see. A few ads here and there. And then also our local pack too, as you see there, indicated by the thumbtack. So we're appearing more in the knowledge panel and in the local pack results. So both of those are great. It expands your reach and it diversifies the type of results that are rendering given the specific query. So really happy to see that going into the new year. Our next key metric is total traffic. Total traffic is measured in sessions, and a session is a measure of a visitor going to more than one web page within the website. We use that because it's a little bit more of a measure of content where they engage in versus, and it also filters out bot and bounce behavior automatically by default. So they wouldn't be going to another page and interacting with it. So again, that's why we use sessions. And 1206 for January, that is up from December. As you see, we were kind of trending downward going September, October, November, and December. I know winter plays a factor in terms of the ground being frozen. Texas, you have that either really, really nice winter weather or it's absolutely horrible. So with that said, we do see a reduction over the time, especially towards the end of the year with December. But good to see that we're bouncing back and we're just about on par with October of 2020. So looking forward to building on that, surpassing all of those numbers, looking back when we started back in July. Let's take a specific look at that traffic. We can look at all the contributing sources and then take a look at our conversion data thereafter. I've loaded our SEO progress report here in this screen. Keep in mind we have this link to your project folder. That folder contains all of your historical reports, such as this SEO progress report, your 3 key metrics, and your project timesheet. Please let me know if you have any trouble accessing that. Also, I sorted out everything from 2020 and 2021, so you should see 2 folders now that delineate those 2 years worth of reports. Looking at a report, we're going year over year. As we can see, month over month in our previous report, we know we were gaining traction there as well. But in this report, when we have the available data, we like to look at it. And of course, this is before we started with Thrive last year. And looking, as you see, 76% increase in the overall organic traffic at 990 sessions. It's really close to all of the majority of the sessions at 1206. Putting everything together here, as you can see, organic at 990. Huge increase year over year and a decent increase month over month. So we've really turned that corner in terms of recession traffic or receding traffic. And we see that with our keywords. We have a bump in our top 5 and we have a bump in our sessions. So we know those two typically work hand in hand as long as we have relevant search queries populating our pages. All right, so organic, direct, referral, and social. Looking at our landing pages, no surprise to see our homepage. What's really cool is that how to build on clay soil. I know that's a little bit on the informational side. That's more informational content, but it does have the propensity to drive traffic, thus identifying the importance of why you should have stabilized clay soil, either prior to working on it or how do you fix it. So that's catching up, and as you see, 1189 differential from this time last year. So yeah, absolutely incredible. As you see, a lot of our specific pages have triple-digit increases here from injection services, soil stabilization, swimming pool applications, stabilizing clay soil. The list goes on. So we anticipate this to continue. Maybe not at the growth percentages that we see here, because that's absolutely incredible. But you see there's more traffic, comparatively speaking, to some of our specific pages, which is great. And that's also in line with Google standards in terms of how Google wants the information relayed to the visitor or to the searcher. And the faster they can get their answers, the better. So we typically see that when there's good quality and good engagement, we do see specific landing pages, starting to outrank things like our homepage and our, of course, our contact page and FAQs and things of that nature. So a really good signal here, and we're very pleased to report on that. And let's dive into our conversion data on our next screen. And as you see here, we're starting all the way to the left of the screen, and I picked a color that would really stand out this year, 2021, in terms of the bright orange. These are website interactions in terms of mobile devices, and if they click to call, as you see, I know our forms were fixed and corrected and updated. I'm just going to have to double check on that and retest. However, we were able to track 12 interactions from mobile device. They actually click the phone call, so that's what we've been tracing here, versus contact form submissions, due to the fact that that plugin was having some issues in configuration, which all as of right now has been updated. I will confirm that with you, Carly. But again, starting off the year pretty strong. As you see, we didn't have 12 conversions looking back all of last year. So again, starting off on the right foot, gaining our top 5 keywords, gaining our sessions month over month and year over year, respectfully. And we have more conversions in terms of interactions with the content website kicking off the 1st of January. So I'm really pleased to report on that. We look forward to this trend continuing, and we'll be able to start to forecast it a little better. And as we climb out of the COVID climate, we can anticipate some normal search volume returning back to our industries. With that said, that concludes our report for this month, Carly. We really appreciate your attendance. I also really appreciate you guys as clients. And we look forward to making a better 2021 and helping Earthlok become more successful in the process. Thanks, Carly. We hope you have a pleasant weekend.